football safe space presented to you by the Fantasy Shot Callers on Streamlabs. I'm 7 o'clock. I'm accompanied with my brother from another mother, Brother Fox. How are you holding up?
Hey, I'm well, brother. Ready to spit these fantasy facts.
There it is. There it is. How can the good folks take care of us?
Hey, as always, y'all can give us that HBO special. If you don't know, the HBO special is the Help a Brother Out special. So help some brothers out. Hit that like button, subscribe. It truly goes a long way.
For sure, for sure. Our third, the king of the South, the warden of the South, Big E, a.k.a. Fantasy Football Big Guy, is going to be hitting us up from his phone. Give him a couple minutes. We tried to hold off a little bit for him. He should be here shortly. But the trio should be able to rock tonight again every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, except for next week. Next week is our bye week. Yeah, I said it. We tired. I'm tired.
All right. Well, too damn bad.
We need a little break. So we're going to take a break.
Yes, sir.
And that way we're nice and refreshed for the regular season, because that's what it's really about. We've been doing consistent since the draft, since free agency.
Yes, sir. So and plus, we're going to have a lot of new content coming up for you soon, being as the Las Vegas Fantasy Football Conference is coming up, Labor Day weekend. So we'll have a ton of new content coming for you guys. And as we said before, some slight rebranding.
Yeah. So with that said, let's get into camp notes, camp news, pulling up the rankings. Who you want to talk about, Brother Fox?
Let's see. Well, I guess we can do a 2-for-1 here.
Okay.
Chris McCaffrey. He reportedly is being held out of camp for a calf injury. Now, we've talked about McCaffrey before. You know, he is Mr. Rent-A-Center. It's not if, but when this man gets hurt. Last year, fantastically, he was able to play 16 games, and we never questioned Christian McCaffrey's talent. We know that when he's healthy, he's de facto number one running back in the league. But it's like, how often is he going to be, completely healthy? So, I guess right now he's going running back 1 in most drafts. And I think even with the injury being as it is precautionary that they're holding him out, I still feel like he's still going to be that running back 1 off the board. What do you think?
Yeah, he's still going to be the guy to be first off the board. I personally like Breece Hall more this year. I've been very vocal about that. Chris McCaffrey had the most touches of any player last year, and you're going to start seeing the effects of it. He's not a spring chicken. I think, is he 28? He's been put through the ringer. He's not really built for that longevity. He's not Derrick Henry. So with that said, draft with caution. They just re-signed Matt Breida. So we know it's got to be some type of serious if they're adding a back off the street that's familiar with the system. They didn't go outright and go out and get Mozart, but they went and found Matt Breida. So there's maybe a little bit of cause for concern. Draft with caution. Maybe considered going Lamb or Hill or Amon-Ra. Oh.
Is Big E in the building?
He in the building.
All right.
Let's see. You in there, big dog?
Technical difficulties. We'll definitely get this figured out. Yeah. But in the meantime, so Chris McCaffrey, again, it's draft with caution, but again, his upside is RB1. Hell, his downside is still, top 5 running back. My concern, more than even Christian McCaffrey's health, is where is Trent Williams? Trent Williams is holding out. And Trent Williams is the cog to that offense. We saw last year, I believe he went out in week 5. The 49ers were undefeated at the time. They proceeded to go on a 3-game losing streak. All 3 weeks, conveniently, was when Trent Williams was out. So I feel like Trent Williams is the biggest cog to this offense. He protects Brock Purdy. He opens up those running lanes for Christian McCaffrey. And apparently they're saying that right now he's being fined $50,000 a day for every day that he misses training camp because he's a veteran player that is not on his rookie deal. Someone like CeeDee Lamb, because he's on his rookie deal, If he does miss days and he gets signed to a long-term contract, the team can actually waive those fees that he incurred while he was holding out. But that is a thing that's only given to rookies on their rookie contract. So someone like Trent Williams, who has now missed 2 weeks of Niners training camp, that's $50,000 a day. So it starts to add up real quick. And again, if the man is willing to miss this, at this point, he's pretty much damn near $1 million that he's out. And if he's willing to miss out on $1 million, he might stand firm.
Yeah, it's no one's talking about that. The O lineman, the meat, the protection, the insurance policy. Everyone's talking about McCaffrey got re-signed. Ayuk wants more money. What are you going to pay Brock Purdy? What are you going to do about the anchor of the O line? What are you going to do about the insurance policy? That really, like you said, without him, the Niners are a great team. But when you have the best left tackle in the game for the last 5-6 years, that changes the entire dynamics of the offense. Mm-hmm. And there's just too many players to pay. You paid Kittle premium top 5 money. You're paying Debo top 10 money. You got Ayuk asking for top 5, top 6 money. You're luckily you're not paying Purdy yet. So it's going to be in. And you're paying both sides in.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now, brother.
That's what's up, baby. I'm standing outside. I had to come outside. What's up, baby? I didn't mean to cut off the conversation. Blessed and highly favored. You know how it is, Big E. All right, let's get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But yeah, like we were saying, with Trent Williams not being out there, it does. When you have an excellent left tackle like that, he'll cover up the holes and other deficiencies on the offensive line. So again, it's who knows how long this holdout is going to last. But yeah, I think he's going to drastically affect Christian McCaffrey if this leaks into the regular season.
Agreed. Big E, what's your thoughts on Brandon Ayuk? We heard he might have been traded to New England, but they said they weren't going to pull the trigger because it didn't seem like he wanted to re-sign with them. Seemed like he's asking for a lot for a guy who is like a team's third option.
Right. Brandon Ayuk, he's one of those confusing cases, man. You remember we talked about him earlier in the season. I mean, who wants him? You know what I'm saying? Is he going to be happy? And I was talking what they were saying. New England, they wanted New England. They wanted him, and then they was talking about Pittsburgh, right? They were talking about Pittsburgh was was interested. So I don't know how that'll go, how that would affect Pickens, but I really I'm out on Ayuk. I really wouldn't like him. I don't know if the team would want an Ayuk on their team. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's not a crybaby. Maybe he just wants his money. He see Justin Jefferson getting his paper. He see everybody getting his paper. So he want the bag. So I'm not in on Ayuk. I don't really want to draft him, but that's just me.
No, he's not Justin Jefferson. That's the issue. He's not Justin Jefferson. He's not Amon St. Brown. He's not CeeDee Lamb.
Right. He was second fiddle to N'Keal Harry. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that was in college. I mean, of course, N'Keal Harry, he's trying to be a tight end now, but I'm like, you're not that guy. You know what I'm saying? You're not Justin Jefferson, and you're not Chase, which he hasn't got his money, of course, but I'm like, you're not CeeDee Lamb. You're not an elite. I would like Amari Cooper, me, myself, better than Ayuk. But I mean, you have to tell me.
So I think it's interesting when people talk about Brandon Ayuk. They, obviously he's an elite route runner. He does fit into the Shanahan offense pretty well, and that 2 punts that he has with him and Debo have been pretty magnificent, enough for them to go to 4 NFC championships in the last 5 years, right? But the thing that they don't really talk about when it comes to Brandon Ayuk, that they constantly mention over and over and over again when it comes to valuing George Kittle, is that Brandon Ayuk is by far, and I mean by far, the best blocking wide receiver in the National Football League. Not even close. If you look at Christian McCaffrey highlights from last year, every single run, you're going to see Brandon Ayuk downfield, hitting safeties, putting DBs into the ground. And that's the reason why Christian McCaffrey won Offensive Player of the Year, is because someone like Brandon Ayuk is down there doing the dirty work. And in San Francisco, there's a notion that if you don't block, you don't get the rock. And so he's out there, he's blocking so that he can get the rock down the field. So I do think he's drastically undervalued in that nature. Two, when it comes to him wanting this big tier money, I don't blame Brandon Ayuk one bit. And what I mean by that is, it's not on him that the wide receiver market blew up this offseason. Similar to like what's happening in Dallas, if you sit around and wait, you're gonna have to pay the cost. Yesterday's price is not today's price. So what they would have paid Brandon Ayuk if they'd have paid him last year, like they could have done, would have been something under $30 million. But now, since you have people who are lesser quality than Brandon Ayuk making over 30 million now, it's gonna be a problem. So, they offered him 26 million. He wants close to 31. He's gonna get it from somewhere. If he was out there on the free agent market, someone at 26 years old, he would get that money. And so it's just it sucks that he had to go through it this route and kind of smear his name in the press to get what he wants. But I guarantee you this time next week, Brandon Ayuk will not be a San Francisco 49er.
Would you be happy if Kansas City would have got him, for that price? I know that, definitely Kansas City, can't get him, and they stacked it running back. I mean, wide receiver anyway. But yeah. I mean, I understand blocking, but there's a lot of wide receivers that can block, maybe can't catch as good as Ayuk. But I just think that Justin Jefferson, the talent isn't there.
Yeah, he's a better Hines Ward. He's a route running, slightly faster Hines Ward blocking down the field. Would I've been happy with Brandon Ayuk if we'd have got him last year for the 26 to 30 million? Sure. Now, no. It's just the real thing about Kansas City, we have to go young. We can't afford nobody. We have next year, we have 4 incredibly good free agents that are coming up. Nick Bolton, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith. Creed Humphrey's going to break the bank. Trey Smith is going to break the bank. Hell, Bolton might get a top tier contract, so it's going to be rough. We couldn't afford Brandon Ayuk even if we wanted him.
No,
I don't want him in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
I do not want him in Pittsburgh.
No doubt.
Pittsburgh has an opportunity to snag him only because right now they're paying peanuts for their quarterback position. Russell Wilson's on a 1-year contract for a little over $1 million, and then you have what's his name, Justin Fields on that 4th year. So I think he's making a little over $2 million. So next year, if one of them breaks out, they're gonna have to pay a quarterback. So it would have been a rental anyway, even if he went to the Steelers.
Okay, thank you.
We need to call backup for you, Biggie.
No, sir. Hey, trust me. Hey, I can't say what I want to say, but you know my job, occupation. So I got the friend. You already know. You just can't see him.
Al, what's good, player?
Trust me.
Our 4th member, Al, commented as well.
Honestly, like I said, if IU goes to Pittsburgh, just saying IU, and I know we're about to change the subject, but if IU goes to Pittsburgh, I definitely, wouldn't like Pickens. I think that I would like IU better than Pickens.
Well, in the slow draft I'm in right now, IU went 5.2.
Wow. Well, I mean, I would take him there.
Yeah.
If he's a 49er, I'd take him there. At this current juncture where we don't know where he's going to go, I would probably push it to the 5th or 6th round.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he's a 1,000-yard receiver at the end of the day. He's a great route runner. I guess it depends on who's throwing him the ball and how many other weapons he has to compete with.
And look, and not to cut you off, I didn't want to do my best John Morant impression. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I said, but hey, I'm safe right here in Charlotte. Trust me.
Gotcha.
No doubt.
Malik Neighbors, dogging Detroit cornerbacks. I guess apparently he caught 17 out of 18 targets. Granted, that's Detroit's secondary, which I might get him for 3 out of 18. So, what do you think, Brother Fox?
looking at footage from Giants camp and as well as the joint practice, Malik Neighbors looks like he's ready. He's one of those. He looks like he's going to be an elite wide receiver very fast. He's even made Daniel Jones look decent in some of these practices. So, and that's a hell of a hard thing to do. Malik's a dog. He's a dog. I think he's going to be one of those players that, maybe at the beginning of the season, he might not be as fruitful as he will be towards midseason. But yeah, Malik Neighbors is nasty. I still take it with a grain of salt, being as it was the Lions. But
what you got, Big E?
I think he's a beast. I think I like Malik Neighbors anyway. I like the way he plays. I mean, I don't think it was just some kind of facade at LSU. I think he had some beats. Thomas Jr. was on the other side, but he did have Jaden Daniels throwing him the rock. So I mean, Danny Dimes is not that. But at the same time, I mean, hey, he can make you look good. That just makes me have questions. It doesn't bring into question Jaden Daniels, but I think he made Jaden Daniels look good, and I think Jaden made him look good. But I mean, I guess I don't know. I think he's gonna go high in the draft. I think he's NFL ready. I mean, if you look back at the film, it was kind of not so much a toss-up because Marvin Harrison Jr. he was doing it, for years and years. Not to say Neighbors wasn't, but I mean, I don't know. Marvin Harrison just looked polished. You know what I'm saying? He just looked like he was that guy. Malik Neighbors is just like, I don't know, like a freak of nature, just talented. So I mean, I would take him high. Honestly, I mean, in Dynasty, I play that a little bit too. I would take him obviously over Ayuk. I would, but I mean, he's just an awesome player, man. I think he's gonna do great things.
Yeah, he had that body frame type, and he seems like a Jamar Chase, but like a bigger, slightly more physical Jamar Chase, which is kind of wild to say.
Yeah, he seemed like a grittier, if that makes sense. No gritty, pun intended, but he seems more aggressive. Like he going after it, like he gonna get it. Like you throw it up there, he gonna come down with it.
Yeah.
He has something that I haven't seen in a while. He's got great balance, like air balance. Like he comes down, contortionist, catches the rock, and still lands with both feet and toe tap. It don't matter, and that's one thing that I think stands out. It is training camp. They're not trying to really, really, really get after Danny Dimes, and that's really the concern. He's got a soft pocket to throw in. Sure, he should be able to make these throws in camp. What happens week 1 through week 18 when the opposing defenses are trying to kill Danny Dimes, and he's got to make those throws for Neighbors? Because he's not going to be able to the ball's got to be catchable for him to make a miraculous catch at the end of the day. I think he went 4.4, 4.5 in the Homies League with Jada Plug for reference. So I think that's fair value, like 4th round for a player of his caliber. But the quarterback situation is just it's not ideal.
No doubt about it. I think I don't know, Neighbors. Like you said, I mean, who knows if they had all the top players, like you said, playing the cornerbacks, if they were playing, like you said, obviously they had the pads probably on their heads. I haven't saw the footage, but I believe so. If it's practice, you know what I'm saying, kind of like like a scrimmage game or something. So, I mean, nobody's going full throttle. Maybe he is because he's a rookie trying to prove himself. So I mean, he will get hit. And I mean, when he get hit, it's gonna be different than them college boys. I mean, he was, breaking people. I mean, you can go back to the footage. He was breaking people down, but it's gonna be different. You know what I'm saying? Them hits gonna be different.
No, for sure. Let's get to my quarterback, bro. That's my quarterback.
I know I don't want to talk about that.
That's my quarterback. 4.7. 4.7. I got him. On supposedly a good year. They say he hot, he cold every other year. Supposedly a good year. He got weapons. His offensive lineman ain't holding out. Defense, sorry, Brother Fox, probably not going to be the same without Snead. Probably still going to be good, but not quite as elite, right?
Oh, I didn't realize you was asking me a question.
I'm just saying.
Defense
right.
defense is still going to be solid, just not as solid. Our number 2 cornerback position, the guys have been kind of wavering. They have one good practice, one not good practice, so it's a little rough. I'm a believer in Pat this year. Now, mind you, obviously I'm a Chief fan, so I'm gonna have some homer in me. But again, that's my quarterback. When it comes to Pat, this season they've made an onus that they plan on throwing the ball deep, and you see it in practice every single day. Pat's not he's similar to how he was that rookie season where he came out and threw 50 touchdowns. He's airing the ball out. And it seems like, and I don't want to hype him because I feel like he might get overdrafted here, but between Hollywood and Xavier, they're making 50, 60-yard passes on the regular. And it's almost to the point that you're not even seeing the highlights for it anymore just because it's happening so often. It's gonna be an interesting year. We'll see. Now the big question mark for Pat will be our left tackle. We have a rookie, Kingsley Suamataia from BYU, second-round draft pick. He's our starting left tackle penciled in right now. He looks good in practice, but we'll see how that translates to game day because when you have somebody like Myles Garrett on top of you, it's going to be a little different than playing against, George Karlaftis.
No doubt. I think, I mean, Pat going to do what he do. I mean, he had a terrible wide receivers last year and still won the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? I think, honestly, and I think, Seven, we talked about this a little bit, that the Hollywood and the Worthy, you know what I'm saying? I think they good, but I think it's just like overhyped for preseason. Not preseason, but you know what I'm saying? Just practice. I mean, like practice. It's not like Allen Iverson says, practice. It's not. They're not going to be doing this all way. I think they're going to be decoys. Honestly, I think that Rice is going to be killing it. I think Kelsey's going to kill it. And I think it's going to be an up year. I done a huge trade for Mahomes in Dynasty. I know he's going to kill. He kills every year. He just had an off year last year. That's what was his worst.
True.
This year last year. But he going to kill this year. But I just think Hollywood and Worthy is going to be decoys. And Rice going to eat. Kelsey going to eat. And Pacheco going to eat. Like they always.
Now, I do agree with you. They will, in some instances, be decoys, yes. But with that same token, you can't run single high safety. You can't. Like you're going to have to run two safeties, do a cover two over the top every play. It's like otherwise, either Worthy or Hollywood are going to be open deep. So it's kind of like it's pick your poison. Do you want to be chopped up down the field by Rice and Kelsey? Or do you want to go single high safety and now with bombs over Baghdad?
You want to be chopped up. You want to be chopped up.
For sure. Slow bleed.
Feed it to Kelsey underneath. I need 85 receptions, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns.
You just worried.
I need return on investment.
Well, it won't be against the Raiders because we got them boys. Them defensive boys is ready. So, Fox, you better get ready because you already know it's going to be a war.
We'll see.
That concludes another episode of Fantasy Football Safe Space. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. Brother Fox, before we wrap up, how can the good folks take care of us?
Hey, as always, y'all can give us that HBO special. If you don't know what the HBO special is, it's the Help a Brother Out special. So help some brothers out. Hit that like button, subscribe. It truly, truly goes a long way.
Man, gentlemen, enjoy your week off. We earned it. We deserved it.
Yes, sir.
Come back strong, swinging white chairs.
No, did.